Howdy, y'all. This is Proverbs 20 in the New Messianic Version for September 20th, 2023. Wine, a mocker, strong drink, raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. The fear of a king as the roaring of a lion. Provoke him to anger, sins against his own soul. An honor for a man to cease from strife, but every fool will be quarreling. The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold, therefore shall he beg in the harvest and have nothing. Counsel in the heart of a man, deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. Most men will proclaim everyone in his own goodness, but a faithful man who can find? The just walks in his integrity, his children blessed after him. A king that sits in the throne of judgment scatters away all evil with his eyes. Who can say, I've made my heart clean, I'm pure from my sin? Diverse weights, diverse measures, both of them alike are an abomination to the Lord Jehovah. Even a child is known by his doings, whether his work pure and whether right. The hearing ear, the seeing eye, the Lord Jehovah has made even both of them. Love not sleep, lest you come to poverty. Open your eyes, and you shall be satisfied with bread. Nothing, says the buyer, but when he's gone his way, then he boasts. There's gold and a multitude of rubies, but the lips of knowledge, a precious jewel. Take his garment, that is surety for a stranger, and pledge of him for a strange woman. Bread of deceit, sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. Purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice make war. He that goes about a talebearer reveals secrets. Therefore meddle not with him that flatters with his lips. Whoso corsets his father or mother, his lamp shall be put out in obscure darkness. An inheritance gotten hastily at the beginning, but the end thereof shall not be blessed. Say not to you, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Lord Jehovah, and he shall save you. Diverse weights, an abomination unto the Lord Jehovah. A false balance, not good. Man's goings of the Lord Jehovah, how can a man then understand his own way? It is a snare to a man who devours wholly, and after vows to make inquiry. A wise king scatters the wicked, and brings the wheel over them. The spirit of a man, the candle of the Lord Jehovah, searching all the inward parts of the belly. Mercy, and he preserve the king, and his throne is upholden by mercy. The glory of young men, their strength. The beauty of old men, the gray head. The blueness of a wound cleanses away evil. So stripes the inward parts of the belly. All right, so the T thing. Truth? They got a typo for autocorrect for truth, maybe, because it's like T in a word smashed. Mercy and to preserve the king. So mercy and truth preserve the king. That sounds correct. We'll have to cross-reference that. I need to do a little free editing for them. I don't know if it's this version or if it's the translation. I would suspect it was something when they uploaded the translation to this app. So, howdy everybody. This is middle of the week. What is it? It's hump day, right? It's Wednesday, my dudes. It's beautiful outside. Did 2 catering deliveries, left the house, fed everybody. Thankfully got my coffee, but I'm out now. Gonna have to take a pit stop. And did my 2 catering orders. Both of them were just odd jobs today in that, like, what was going on in the kitchen with the way they packed them? Everything smashed, so many diverse items. And then there's nothing to make you nervous, like 3 things of sticky syrup stacked up, right? I digress. Wine a mocker. I associate my experience with wine, especially red wine, is very jolly, jovial, and if you're not careful, slipping into mocking, right? Strong drink, raging. I enjoy whiskey. I always associated scotch with alcoholics. For better or worse, that was my association. I'll never drink that. Now, I love Glenlivet. What are you going to do? I shouldn't say I love it. It is my preferred Scotch whiskey. Let's leave it at that. And I'm too poor to afford much else. However, and I don't buy it because I don't, what am I going to do? I don't need a nightcap. Anyway, the point of the strong drink thing is I know what works for me. I know what I can enjoy because each spirit has a different effect on us. It's interesting, right? Each spirit has a different effect. But I know that Jim Beam, for whatever reason, that bourbon whiskey, if you give that to me, first of all, I don't particularly enjoy it, but if I drink that with you, I'm very quickly going to become raging. Don't know why. Do know that spirit in me, it's fight night. Let's do it. And there's no explanation. It's just that anger wells up within me. Whatever that chemistry is unlocks that, right? So whoever's deceived by it thereby is not wise. So, I don't know. Wine's awesome. History of humanity, we've made wine and beer, Make safe old grapes when you can't preserve them other ways. Make safe the water. Beer, liquid bread, make safe the water. We're good here. Whiskey. Interesting. We would say it's had a checkered past, right? Spirits. But then in other parts it says, give it to the dying. So when somebody's terminal, who cares, right? Who cares? It's not a sin for them to be... I need to watch myself. I was going to say it's not a sin for them to be drunk. However, the Bible says being drunkenness is a sin. So, habitually drunk? No. But when somebody is terminally ill, they had herbs, right? And preparations, oils, and extracts. They had some medicine, right? Natural medicine and remedies. But when somebody's dying, those may not work. But you know what does work to take away pain? Or at least temporarily? Strong drink, right? So the Bible makes provisions. I don't want to call them exceptions, but it shows us how to appropriately judge things like this. So my Baptist and Reformed brothers and sisters, I love y'all. We disagree on the drinking and the dancing. I have a part of my past was being raised in a Baptist church. I went to a Baptist school, and no drinking, no dancing kind of thing. Hey, go with God. The fear of a king is as the roaring of a lion, and whoso provokes him sins against his own soul. Okay, where is it? We're going to go down. A king that sits in the throne of judgment scatters away all evil with his eyes. Y'all know that meme of Sam Jackson that says 80% or 90% of parenting is just staring at your kids like this until they behave? I believe that. That's what's being said right here, right? A king sits in his throne, a guy in his chair, a dad in his chair or his spot, scatters away all evil with his eyes. I don't even have to say something sometimes, even with my oldest. If he's doing something, even if it's not necessarily bad, but it's dangerous or swinging something around near my TV, because Lord knows I can't replace it and it's the only one we got. Just got to give him the look. It's that's right. I don't want to talk. I don't want to make a threat. The king scatters away all evil with his eyes. And I'm only king in my castle. I'm not important anywhere else. And a king's only so good as they are just and loving. So it's not about raw power, right? And domineering over everybody. It's ruling justly. It's showing how to think. It's showing wisdom and compassion and love. And where do we get that? The fear of the Lord. So guess what, gentlemen? You better fear the Lord, and you better get in your routine. Because who can say I've made my heart clean and I'm pure from sin? And then today, daily verse, I got to catch up. I got like 3 days, but daily verse is about meekness and right power under constraint. So it's an honor for a man to cease from strife, but every fool will be meddling. So you may have the power to say something. You may have the influence or the social capital in your office, in your environment, wherever, to say something. Don't, because every fool will be meddling. Just overlook it. Just like yesterday, 1911, right? Discretion of a man defers anger, and it's his glory to pass over transgression. Let it go, bro. Saying it to myself too. A sluggard won't plow by reason of the cold, therefore he'll beg and harvest. Why? Because I keep jamming into my kids, You can have what you want, largely, if you're willing to set the goal and then step-by-step work at it every day. So guess what? When it's still cold outside, spring season, pre-spring, end of winter, that's when you should be plowing. And end of the season, end of fall, that's when you should be plowing, planting your fall and your overwinter crops, so that you can have some. I'm speaking of myself, because you know what? I missed my whole opportunity to plant all my garlic last year. And for the amount of garlic I eat and my family consumes, I got to get it done this year as I prepare my fall garden. It's been a drought. It's been miserable. Didn't get my irrigation done. The garden's been miserable. Still harvested quite a lot of stuff out of it, but nowhere near what we should have. All we can do is do better the next day. Dust yourself off, gentlemen. Get up. What is it? The righteous fall down 7 times. They get up again. Keep going. Stay in the way. Counsel in the heart of a man is like deep water. A man of understanding will draw it out. That's why we like expert interviewers, right? And like listening to them, because they can get at the innermost part of a person and get them. Only God can do that, but they can draw out the inward parts of a person so we can see their wisdom. A just man walks in his integrity, and his children are blessed after him. And this was one of my kiddos' first verse they memorized. Even a child is known by his doings, whether his work pure and whether right. So, even a child is known by his actions, in another translation, whether his work be pure and whether it be right. The hearing ear, the seeing eye, the Lord Jehovah has made even both of them. And again, I do like sleep. I'm an insomniac, but once I finally sleep, if I'm getting good sleep, I want to stay in bed with my eyes closed. And when you wake up and you can't go back to sleep and you keep closing your eyes, it's the worst. But you know what? Instead of laying in your bed, instead of trying to go back to sleep, get up and do something. Talking to myself, I got out of bed this morning, the first thing I did was try to do a pull-up. Still can't do pull-ups. Shoulders too messed up. But I'm going to keep trying until I can do them again. What is it? Pull-up, chin-up, and I don't know what you call a bicep curl. I'm going to do that at least. Anyway, not about me. But if you want to hear more about physical discipline, I am trying to get in better routine. And like I said, I did join that group of other guys. Got some recommendations from them. I don't know that I want to post fitness content, but at the same time, maybe daily workout routine, some encouragement, some discussion is appropriate for us, this audience. Let me know. I'm going to run out of time again because I took so much video of my kid doing physics science experiments and pH experiments in the yard. So transfer to episode and some other videos, but not enough yet. I got to clear my phone. The lips of knowledge are a precious jewel, so it's better than gold and rubies, And the bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but after his mouth will be filled with gravel. Yeah, great. You pulled one over on somebody. So you did harm to them, whether they know it or not. Yeah. No. As soon as you go to enjoy that, you're going to feel it, right? And it's going to be like, oh man, maybe I don't even want this now. Right? I don't know. Whether it be stealing or conning somebody, or just lying to get your way. We need to not be doing that. I am going to run out of time, so I'm trying to move, but diverse weights and diverse measures, so many times it tells us to not do it. And say not to you, I will recompense